Hi, it's Tanya with Moonlight Pathways. Today I'm going to tell you actually a little bit more about myself and why I do what I do. Okay? When I was 10 years old, my parents got divorced, and I spent a lot of time during my preteen, teenage years going back and forth. And it was really hard because you didn't want to make one parent mad over the other, and it's not that they were bad parents or anything like that. I have wonderful, wonderful parents. They were not a good couple together. They're much better parents and much better people apart. And I love them both dearly, and they have found partners who have brought out the best in them, and I'm very happy for that. But growing up, it was hard because you always felt like you had to choose one over the other. And that can be very difficult on a child. You know, you don't want to say anything that's going to make the other parent mad at the other one, but then at the same time you're thinking, well, maybe if I can do this, then I can get this from that parent. And that's I'm sorry, that's the way kids think, you know. But it can be very hard to do that. And as I grew older and I had my own son, that I knew it wasn't the case that I was pinning one parent against the other. I never intentionally done that. I'm sure there were situations when I did do that, but I never intentionally done that. And with my own biological son, his father and I were never a couple during his time. Thank goodness. I love my son dearly. Anybody who knows me knows I love my kids, but my son and I have a very, very special bond. And he would not be here without his dad. I'll give him that. And I try to bring positivity to him, but it can be hard at times. And any mothers or fathers out there who have issues with the other parent know exactly what I'm talking about. It's very hard to let some things slide when it hurts your child. That is one thing I'm very, very protective of is my children. And doesn't have to be a blood child to be my child. There's lots of kids out there that call me mom. They know I'd do anything in the world for them. I love them. But especially when it is the child that you grew in your body and you raised, and the other parent has hurt them in one way or another, physically, emotionally, mentally, however it is, it can be devastating. And we need to take that stigmatism off of our kids and ourselves about getting help for those things. It's okay to ask for professional help. It's okay to see a therapist. It's okay to see a psychiatrist. In especially with doing the foster care now, there's no way we could do this without the help of Leo's therapist and psychiatrist and the help that they give him. And I would not take anything in the world for the help that they've provided for him and for us too, because he has gone through situations I'll never know about. He's been through things he will not talk to me about, and it's okay. Eventually, if he wants to talk to me, he knows I'm here, but he also knows that he has other people outside that he can rely on that aren't going to judge him for feeling the way he feels. And it can be hard with his situation, making sure that he is trying to see a positive light with everything. And he has a tendency to want to say he hates a lot, and that's something I'm trying to change. Because if we're always building hate, then where's the love going to be? We have to build the love up. And especially with these kids with foster system, with displaced from their families in any way, shape, or form. It's never the child's fault that they have been removed. It's never the child's fault that something happened to them. And we have to make sure that they know that they are able to process this and be there for them. Even if it's not a child that you're taking care of, if it's a child that you know, if they know that there is that one other person that they can go to and talk to if they need something, that could mean the world to them. These kids are our future, and we have to make sure our future is bright and filled with light and love. Because if it keeps going and gets filled with all this darkness and hate, what are our grandkids, our great grandkids, what are they going to be exposed to? What is the hope for them? I worry so much about our younger kids coming up, and so many parents that think just because they birthed a child they can be a parent. That's not true. Just because you gave birth to a child does not mean you have the capacity to take care of that child. And it's okay to admit that. It's okay to ask for help. What isn't okay is to abuse that child. What isn't okay is to neglect that child. That isn't okay in any way, shape, or form. And we need to make sure that we don't do that to our kids. That if you see something happening to a child, report it where it needs to be reported. If it continues to happen and you're seeing it and nothing's being done, keep going up the ladder. Don't stand by and let a child, a person, be abused and neglected in any way, shape, or form. They are our future. And if we're not there for them now, we have no future. Always, always make sure that these kids know that they are loved and supported. It doesn't matter what race, what gender, what sexual orientation that child is. That should not matter to a true parent. If you let that affect your raising of a child, that is your issue. That is not that child's issue. I've always told my oldest, I didn't care who he loved as long as the other person was supportive of him. He happens to have a wonderful girlfriend. They do great. They've got a house. Eventually, maybe I'll have grandkids. I love grandkids, you know. I love me some grandkids. Come on. He knows I love him, and I gotta pick on him. But these children have been through so much, and it breaks my heart to see any child abused, any adult abused, any animal abused. You know, if you know me, you know I have animals. I have a goat that was house trained, and she was actually in the house for over a year. She would go out to potty. She would go out during the day on a dog line and come in the house at night. I also have a potbelly pig who is the most spoiled pig you'll ever see. If she's not getting what she wants, she lets you know about it. She's a very picky eater, and she loves her mama. We also have chickens, 2 dogs. You know, I am an animal person. I love animals. There's never any reason to abuse animals either. And that is one sign. If you see someone abusing animals, then who's to say they're not abusing other people then? If they can hurt an animal, it's very easy for them to hurt someone else. And a lot of people who become abusers, that's how they start, is with animals. So if you see something like that going on, make sure people know about it. Report that to the Humane Society, animal shelters, whatever you need to do to make sure that they are taken care of and possibly get help for that person. If we can get those people help at an early stage, how many other lives are we saving? We always need to look out for each other. We are in such a time in our lives that we are so disconnected from each other, even in blood families and even in the same house. How many times do you sit on the couch or in your chair and you're watching TV and everybody's got their cell phones out playing on their phones? Nobody talks anymore. We have to communicate. We have to get back to that one-on-one communication. One thing I'd love to do eventually, I don't know if I'll be able to do it at this shop, but maybe when I get a bigger shop, is to actually have a couple couches and everything to where we can just sit and talk. We have to be able to have that one-on-one interaction with people. Talking on the phone, on the computer, FaceTime, it helps. It helps, but being able to talk and look at that person and see those little expressions they make and know the reflection in the voices and stuff and communicate with them one-on-one, that is such a powerful thing. And that's why so many people, I think, are having such a hard time right now in this pandemic, is because, yes, we've been forced to stay apart from each other, but even in our own homes, we still don't communicate. That's one thing we try to do with our kid, is sit down, and talk things over. If one of us is upset, we let it come down a little bit and then sit down as a family and talk it through. There's no reason not to talk it through. If we continue to let little things build up and build up and build up, there's going to be a huge blow up. And what's going to happen? Somebody's going to get mad. Somebody possibly could get hurt. There's no reason for it. Talk these things over and try to listen to the other person's perspective. Don't just say, oh, this is the way it is. No. If I read a sentence and I take it one way, that's fine. You read that same sentence, you take something totally different from it, that's fine too. Everything is not black and white. We have to learn to live together and love each other no matter what. Well, this went off a little different than I thought it was going to, but I am glad I got a little bit of this off my chest today. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. This is Tanya with Moonlight Pathways. We are located at Town Mountain Road and Town and Country Shopping Center in Pikeville, Kentucky. Our normal hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 5. Have a wonderful, wonderful New Year's. We will be closed this Friday and Saturday to spend a little bit of time with our family for New Year's. But I hope everyone has a wonderful, safe, happy New Year. Always, always spread love and light. Share and subscribe so we can keep the love train going. Thank you.